she came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
private area, sir. Phineas Whitman, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by
Mr. Whitmer, thank God you're here. Can I take you to Madame Carlyle?
Please do.
If you'd follow me. I know I ought to say anything, but so you're here. Madame's funeral, and then she turned up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary. And all this security. I've never seen the place guarded. I dare say I don't like it at all.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about it. She'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me.
Oh, what did I tell you? She's a sensible woman. And that stuff from your ex was like manipulated.
That's a bit excessive, I think.
I know.
Considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house.
Thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments, or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madam's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shithole? A girl like you belongs in clubs in London. I bet you're a great dancer.
I don't like dancing.
What about restaurants then? You like food? I know some great places. You should come visit. I'll take you somewhere really good.
Excuse me.
You look tanned. Do you mind? You're really pissing me off. Can you just leave me alone? You look tanned. I bet Mother spent the last week at her Cyprus estate. Am I right?
I'm not at liberty to say, ma'am.
Oh, come on. I need to know what's going on. This affects me too, you know. Christ. How the hell did that... happen? I gave it to him in person. He says he got it notarized. Excuse me.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all? Not very thorough. Here.
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Poor thing.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, all too much.
We'll all need a vacation when this is over.
How are you? I need to do a quick routine check.
lost button. The one you couldn't find at the graveyard. Wouldn't it be a good idea for you to go and look for it?
Patrick
It's not so
Carlyle,
bad anymore. Used to
can
be
you
much
tell
worse.
me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexia used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it? Good idea for you to go and look for it. Now?
A good idea.
Yeah.
So I think,
So
yeah, what you said.
Yeah, same. Parents would...
Security detail at a staged funeral event tomorrow. That'll be a first for me.
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
You didn't know it was all fake, and now it's having a meltdown.
I mean, it's a pretty big thing for Mother to fake her own death. Excuse me, can you get out of my face?
You do know what's going on.
I didn't say that.
With all this... I'll get to the bottom of this.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Quite the poet.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will settle down soon.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful. Business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
Upset. Really didn't expect him to commit suicide. Died? Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help? Yes, hi, Cassie. It's...
How tall are you? You could be a model, you know.
Right.
I'm serious. I have a friend who's a model. She's... That's the sweet, sweet life. You should come and stay at my place in London. You never come over. Give some tea.
Yeah, keep it real.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort overstaying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book. Which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
Sorry, man, but you're just making me feel a little uncomfortable now. Okay? You like, reading? You look really smart, in a good way, I mean.
I do like reading.
Really? I like reading too. I read all the time. Literature. Such.
That's nice.
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
Mr. Patrick, can I do anything for you?
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Yes, actually. Could you speed up time so I don't
I bet you work.
I should get back to you.
Right. Listen, Gregory, something's off. Pruitt got word his motion was rejected.
Looking good, man.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan, Yates & Cohn. I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlyle account HTC depot number 5085. No.
What do you mean it doesn't exist? Right. I'll double check and get back.
Hey! Oh!
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I know you're here somewhere. C2, this is Blue Leader. False alarm. Nothing to report. Out.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
Sure, I understand.
Body's found. Out.
This is Rebecca's room. I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Hello, sir.
Can't you just relax for a minute?
And that solicitor upstairs. Why do you think he's here?
I think solicitors are mother's favorite kind of people. Can't remember ever having a family.
I think he
Pick up the torch.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Greetings, sir. Sir.
Madam Carlyle.
Mr. Whitmer, you found proof of what happened to my brother?
No, not yet.
Go and see Fernsby when you do.
Sir, you're trespassing. Please, you need to turn around. That's just how we like it, sir.
Hi there.